It seems that once upon a time there was a kingdom without a princess, and this concerned the king and his ministers greatly.
We are facing a severe heiress deficit.
The minister told the king, tapping a chart.
We must immediately increase the number of young female royal individuals in the palace vicinity.
A princess must be found,
Sighed the king. This wasn't an impossible task. The king once did have a princess, but she had been lost since childhood. The king and his minister simply had to figure out how to track her down. But just as they started thinking, they were interrupted by the cold gesture, Million Laughs Charlie.
How? How about a good laugh today, Kingy? A funny thing happened to me on our way to the castle. This Irishman says...
Please, Charlie, I'm trying to find the princess lost since childhood.
Oh, gosh, King, that's a great idea. How you gonna do it?
Nothing to it, Charlie. Just offering 1,000,000 gold grickles to the princess when she shows up.
1,000,000 gold grickles? Well, sire, I'd love to help on this project. Do you remember what she looked like at all?
No.
Good! That's too bad.
She was just a baby when she left. But I'll know her by the way she passes the test I have in mind.
But Million Laughs Charlie wasn't listening anymore. He wasn't even there. Charlie had run home, called up his date for the night, a lovely maiden who lived next door, canceled on her, and got straight to work on his scheme. He recruited his friend Clyde, a rather big man with a rather small brain, to help, and before Clyde knew what had happened, he had on a blonde wig, a lot of lipstick, and was on the way to the palace to meet the king.
I don't want to be no princess.
Whined Clyde.
These high heels would kill me.
Shushed Charlie as they arrived at the palace front door.
Well, King, here she is, the first contender for princess.
That's more of a 5 o'clock shadow than I remember.
All right, step this way. Now, if she stays awake on these mattresses overnight, I'll know she's the one.
How's that?
There will be a small pea under the bottom mattress. If she's a real princess, she will be so refined, so sensitive, that even a tiny lump like that won't let her sleep.
Very clever.
The make-believe princess climbed to the top of the pile and lay down, as Charlie, the king, and his ministers waited at the bottom. In the morning, the king and his court climbed to the top, and sure enough, the make-believe princess was snoring away blissfully.
Aha! Look, she's sound asleep. That's not the real princess.
Out! Deny with that, hussy. Now you've done it, bungler.
But Charlie...
Cannot you do anything, right?
Charlie and Clyde found themselves escorted out of the palace, helped along by a swift kick or two on the bottom from the palace guards. But Clyde didn't get off that easily. Over the next few days, Charlie dressed his friend up in a red wig, a brown wig, and a browner wig, and sent him off to the palace to pretend to be another girl. Hoping to keep him up, he would feed Clyde coffee and tell him scary stories about monsters and politicians. And each time, Clyde would sleep soundly through the night, and in the morning, he would be forced to leave the palace, rubbing his rear. After several days of this, the two dejected men went back to Charlie's house to regroup. There, Charlie's neighbor was out in the yard washing her carriage.
Well, honey, you're in luck. Million Laughs Charlie, yuck, is now available for that date.
Sorry, Charlie,
said the maiden.
I'm exhausted. I didn't get a wink last night. I think there was a pea under my mattress.
First, we'll have dinner at a pea. You don't sleep a wink.
Yes, Charlie had figured it out. This really was a princess, the real thing. The girl that would get the 1,000,000 gold crickles and all the titles of her realm. Before you could say greedy no good, Nick, Charlie had taken the girl to meet the king.
999,999, 1,000,000 gold grickles. You also get your choice of any man in the kingdom. Just sign this receipt,
said the king, giving his daughter a hug.
Wow,
said the princess.
Any man in the kingdom?
She smiled, looking over at her escort and his friend.
Oh, Clyde, will you be mine?
For keeps,
said Clyde. That's the story. The king had his daughter, the princess had her gold, and Clyde had the princess, and they all lived happily ever after. Oops, almost all happily ever after. Poor Million Laughs Charlie spent the rest of his days unsuccessfully trying to sell unauthorized fairy tales of the king and his court.